What's up, guys? My name is Miles.
And my name is Fez.
And this is The Commodity. And today we're reacting to This is the most basketball-obsessed country in the world. And I'm assuming he is talking about the Philippines.
And this was suggested to us by...
Ella's a guy in our Discord.
Just in case you didn't know.
So yeah, thank you so much for the recommendation. If you guys have any more recommendations to send us, please do not hesitate to click on the link in our description to our Discord, click on the video suggestion box, and throw your suggestions in there.
Yeah.
Also, guys, before we hop into this video, if you would, go ahead and give it a like. It definitely helps us get this out to more people. Also, if you would, go ahead and click the subscribe button and the bell notification icon. That way you guys can stay informed on our future videos. And if you'd like to help us out even further, you can click the join button down below. So let's chickadee check yourself. That was weird.
Curious if that sounded like a car driving by.
More like a straight piped lawnmower.
I'm used to having a hat on. I hope y'all enjoy my hair.
Yeah.
I did it
The
special.
Philippines.
If you guys have ever seen The Incredibles, he kind of looks like a dark-haired Incrediboy.
I'm about the
Home
same
to
height.
100 million people, the 8th most populated country in the world, home to lumpia, adobo, and Manny Pacquiao.
So,
Above all the
Philippines
many
for sure.
beautiful things to love in the Philippines, there's one thing that's loved more than anything else: basketball. There isn't anything quite like it. This country is obsessed, no, addicted to basketball. Anywhere you go, any neighborhood, any barangay, you will find a basketball court. Filipinos
cool.
will play on anything, even if there isn't a wood or cement floor. Filipinos will play on grass, soil, even
them wearing
sand.
flip-flops
And
and
everyone
doing it.
plays. Big, small, short,
Chanclas.
tall, poor, rich. You'll find players wearing shoes, tsinelas, and even bare feet. You see, it doesn't matter who you were before you stepped on the court. All that matters is your game.
Oh, go back. Check out his shirt. So it looks like the
Captain
America shield, but it's got the star from this, or the sun, or whatever you want to call it, from the flag.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing isn't there 3 stars on their flag?
Yep.
Along with the main star. I'd like to see the rest of that shirt. I dig that shirt.
It doesn't matter who you were before you stepped on the court. All that matters is your game. You know how much Americans love American football? Well, multiply that by 10 times. The passion for the sport is real. The only thing I can quite compare it to is Argentina or Brazil's
You know,
love
it does
for
seem
football,
like that,
where
like
the love for
multiplied.
the sport is almost a religion over
Over
there.
Americans in
For the sake of
football?
numbers,
Yeah.
Nike once estimated that 40% of the population of the Philippines plays basketball, and 81% in total are basketball fans. That's approximately 81 million hoopballing fans.
This begs the question.
That's a tough, to think that they're more fandom for, because there's no way that 80% of our population likes
Football.
American football.
I agree.
Because a lot of people do find American football boring, even American.
I love American football. I just don't watch it.
I'm diehard. I could
love
watch any
playing.
game.
I just don't watch it. I don't
Now,
have time.
and to be fair, man, I love basketball. I dislike the 2 of the jerseys he's got behind him, Dwayne Wade's jerseys, but that one's autographed. But I'm curious on how many people like number wise. Obviously, more people here like football,
But population
because
wise.
population is big, bigger.
But percentage wise,
I don't think you can compare the 2.
no.
Yeah, I agree.
Why? Why do Filipinos love basketball so much? Well, there's the obvious answer. Duh. Because it's fun. Alright, case closed. Thanks for watching my video. Subscribe and hit that notification bell. No, that's not a
Joke.
good enough answer. Because you know what else is fun? Football, or soccer for my American viewers.
The most popular sport in the world, bar none. Football
He
is
sounds
so
American.
popular, an estimated 4 billion people, more than half the world's population, are football fans. So why didn't this football fever convert well in the Philippines? Why is basketball so different for Filipinos?
Boom.
To better answer this question, we have to go back. 1898 marked the beginning of the Spanish-American War, where after the Battle of Manila, Americans took control of the city, and then with the Treaty of Paris, the whole country of the Philippines. Thus, Spain relinquished control of the Philippines to the United States for for $20 million, which is $600 million in today's money. During this period, basketball
Probably a
was
little bit
brought
more
over
than
by
that
the
now,
Americans.
because that was in
Basketball
2019.
started in 1910, where it was actually introduced to public schools as a women's sport, because men's sports, like baseball and track, were deemed too rough and intense for women. The Philippines quickly established its
Baseball was too rough, but not basketball.
I know, right?
That's crazy.
And I was literally talking about the last basketball, the FIBA that we looked at, the highlights. I like their basketball because it's rougher than our basketball. But yet, see, I call BS. I don't think that's accurate. There's no way that's accurate because baseball is like it's a beer drinking sport. Like Babe Ruth was a fatty. Like there's no possible way. Like there's still big
sport.
fatties
In
nowadays.
1936, in their first Olympic showing, the Filipino basketball team came in 5th place, which to this day is still the best placing for an Asian team. They then won gold in the first Asia Games in 1951, and then won bronze in the FIBA 1954 World Championships,
I wonder
which
who won first.
again has not been eclipsed by another Asian country until this day. For the next 20 years, the Philippines dominated Asia in basketball, winning gold in the FIBA Asia tournaments in 1960, 1963, 1967, 1973, and 1985, and then winning silver in 1965 and 1971. It was during this time that the basketball craze was at an all-time high. The Philippines then formed the PBA, or the Philippines Basketball Association, the oldest running professional basketball league in the world after the NBA, bringing us Filipino all-time greats like Ramon Fernandez, Philip Cesar, Bogs Antonado, and Robert Jaworski.
When we were liberated from Spain, the removal of colonization left behind a large void. In 1934, the Philippines was nothing more than a collection of islands, ethnicities, and diverse cultural identities.
And while the government would try and fill that void in a political and legal sense, it was basketball that became that cultural glue for our newly born country.
It's crazy how sports can bring people together like that.
Oh, dude,
Just
wars.
like food and
Wars have been stopped over sports.
Yeah.
There was a soccer game. I don't remember. Don't hold me to remembering this, but there was 2 countries that were at war, and they literally stopped the war so the 2 countries could play their international game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, literally, people get stupid over sports in a lot of ways, but I think, yeah, like there's certain things that bring people together. That's food, sports, and politics. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
In a country where there are literally hundreds of different languages and everyone sort of has their own local and regional connections, basketball became one thing that people could look to and say, we are Filipino and this is something that we are really good at right now.
And basketball, in turn, is linked with our unity as Filipinos. The Filipino cultural identity was basically born from basketball. That's why for a lot of us, basketball is more than just a game.
Wait, hold on.
If you're
Go
familiar
back.
with the economy of the Philippines, it's not
Does that say Filipinas?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I'm not sure. Let us know in the comments, but a few of their different jerseys say that.
Filipinos.
Like the what was the other sport that I'm trying to think of?
Oh, not takraw, or
No, it might have been.
how do you say that again?
No, I'm thinking of the actual basketball games we've watched. That's what their jerseys say.
Filipino. Maybe that's like, is that proper way of actually pronouncing or even spelling it? Well, you just been doing it all wrong with adding the H? Yeah, seriously though, curious.
Yeah.
Identity was basically born from basketball. That's why for a lot of us, basketball is more than just a game.
If you're familiar with the economy of the Philippines, it's not an understatement to say it's not the greatest. Most of the time, you die in the same economic status that you were born in. The state of the economy makes it hard to advance socially and financially. This is where basketball comes in. Ryan Ref from kcet.org states, professional basketball offers a means to ascend the Filipino social ladder in ways that it doesn't elsewhere. Former PBA players go on to elected office, television and film stardom, or business success. For boys, basketball serves as a rite of passage, strategy for achieving masculinity, and a way to bypass economic barriers. Everybody plays and watches the sport, from the poorest Manila trader to its wealthiest businessman. Now, the last and most obvious answer.
Now, I will say this. I think that's real here as well.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people, and it's not just basketball, it's sports in general.
They'll grow up and their parents will that's their goal.
That's their opportunity to get out of the hood,
Right.
to get out of rougher situations. Now, granted, yes, a lot of people have a lot of money and wind up playing sports. Like a lot of, like the Mannings, like Peyton Manning in the NFL and his brother Eli Manning, their dad was an amazing football player.
Right.
So
to be fair, they were very good themselves.
Oh, the best. Literally.
But, dad's money and friends and people that he could have train his kids got him there.
Yeah. Whereas like a LeBron James or a Shaquille O'Neal had to literally that's why they give back to their parents so much, because they sacrifice. They're already struggling in a hard, rough area, and then because I think Shaq is from like Louisiana or something like that, and then you got LeBron from Akron, Ohio, so they're from the hood, and then they got to do everything that they can do to get out of the situation that they're in, and their parents are literally already working multiple jobs. So me personally, I had the opportunity to actually grow up in a wonderful household, but for a lot of people, this is their way out, especially in the NFL. I think I would say the larger percentage
I completely
is in the
agree.
NFL because a lot of people are no longer allowing their kids to play in the NFL because of all the concussions.
Right.
So the people that are sticking around are the people that are literally like, it's like, I'm willing to sacrifice to make my life and my family's life better.
Yeah.
And basketball is the same way. So just minus the concussions, and having the skill and being 6'6".
Yeah.
Is the accessibility. With sports like baseball, hockey, or golf, you need equipment and facilities. Baseball has batting and catching equipment, not to mention the huge field. Hockey requires an ice rink,
Hockey's
ludicrous on a
a
Pacific
rich man's
island,
sport.
and golf needs acres upon acres of land.
Golf is
as well
the
as
richest
golf clubs
man's
and other
sport.
equipment costing easily hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. Basketball, all you need is a court and a ball, which is ideal for the Philippines.
To be fair, that's a lot of money too.
Yeah.
How much does a court cost?
As of today, the Philippines is ranked 31st out of 165 countries. This makes them the third highest ranked Asian country. How did a country that was basically born from basketball and went from dominating the rest of Asia to 31st place? There are many reasons, and the most obvious answer might be the biggest, or in this case, the smallest.
Right.
Our height.
Basketball, obviously, is a tall man's game, and Filipinos aren't known for being vertically gifted. With
Why
the
do you
average
think you don't see any
Filipino standing
Mexicans
at
out there?
5'4" or 163 centimeters. The average PBA player of today naturally stands a bit taller at 6'3" or 190 centimeters, which was not as big as a problem back in the 50s, when the average NBA player stood at 6'2" or 187 centimeters. And while the rest of the professional world grew, the Philippines remain short. Today, the average NBA player measures 6'7" or 200 centimeters,
Hey,
with forwards
yeah, Spurs,
easily
baby.
surpassing
Kawhi.
that. Could you imagine how well the standard PBA player would fare against someone like Shaquille O'Neal, who in his prime stood at 7'1" and weighed in at 300 pounds? At that difference, he would absolutely feast in the
7'2".
paint. And there wouldn't be anything a Filipino player could do
Like 10,000
except foul him
pounds?
and pray that he misses free throws.
With the rest of the world making great strides in basketball, the Philippines
To be fair, guys, I don't care how tall you are. Shaquille O'Neal was dominant no matter how big. You could be his same size, and his like natural ability would kick your ass. So, but yeah, no, that's why Mexicans don't play basketball. They're short.
Yeah.
Philippines has one dream that burns bright in a lot of people's hearts: having a homegrown Filipino playing the NBA. Now, the NBA is clearly the meridian of professional basketball. There is no higher level of basketball.
Granted, there have been players with Filipino blood in the NBA. Raymond Townsend became the first Filipino to ever play in the NBA, playing for the Golden State Warriors in 1978. We also have Jordan Clarkson, who started his career on the Lakers and currently plays for the Cavaliers. And as a joke, a lot of Filipinos like to include Nate Robinson, whose
He's so short.
great-grandfather was Filipino, which comes out to about 6%. That makes him an honorary Filipino, I guess?
He's
But
also
we still
like
find ourselves
5'3"
waiting for our own
or
Stephen
something
Trump
like
or
that.
Manny Pacquiao to grace the courts of professional American basketball. Will there ever be a native homegrown Filipino NBA player? Many have tried, notably Japeth Aguilar and Bobby Ray Parks Jr. of the PBA. Bobby actually played for the Texas Legends in the NBA G League, but none yet who have made it into the big leagues.
I was actually able to speak with Raymond Townsend, the first Filipino basketball player to ever play in the NBA.
Is a Filipino who's considered one of the best players in the history of the PBA going to put his reputation out there to possibly get cut by the Brooklyn Nets or the Orlando Magic or Sacramento Kings or the Phoenix Suns?
Yeah.
Are they going to sit there and have the rest of their life, so-and-so is
even make the NBA.
But could never make the NBA, got cut in, 2025 with the Phoenix Suns.
So it's not a question of talent, it's a question of like fear or courage.
Nobody's ever done it. It's harder for the first person than it is for anybody else. Because with being the first, there's a lot of doubt. I was told I'd never make it. There's a lot of negative input, and there was negativism towards who you are. I was too small. I was Filipino. I wasn't big enough. But they don't know the heart of a Filipino.
So
That's really cool that he got in contact with him.
Yeah, no, I was literally thinking, I was like, because I was going to save it for the end, but I think we need to, because I don't know how many subscribers this guy's got, but I feel like we have enough people that watch our videos that we need to get this guy up no matter what he has.
I just based off of his videos, he's got 165,000.
I know we're a lot smaller, but I know we have a lot of great viewers. And if you're a basketball fan, I think we should help grow his channel.
Yeah, guys. So
we're not even done, and we're already trying to plug him.
So before you even subscribe to our channel, subscribe to his channel, and then subscribe to our channel.
Yeah. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel.
Who's next? For the time being, the hopes and dreams of the country rest on these few players.
I was like,
Kobe Paras.
he's got the jersey,
named after
Carter's
the
jersey
Kobe.
on.
His father was a PBA player
That was
and
a
claimed the
famous
title
dunk.
the youngest MVP of all time, having been born in the ball life. He basically eats, breathes, and lives basketball. He had a stint with Creighton and CSUN, and even once dunked on LeBron. And then there's Terrence Romeo, one of the best guards in the PBA with quick as lightning reflexes and handles for days. Basically the Allen Iverson or the Kyrie Irving
Dude,
of the PBA.
AI
And then
wasn't that
there's
tall.
Jumar Fajardo,
I think he was still
the
like
current
6'2"
MVP of the
or something like
PBA,
that.
and arguably the best player in its
Maybe
history.
5'10".
He has the most MVPs in PBA history with 5. He has amazing talent, and if he ever wanted to, critics say he would have a good shot in the NBA. However, most people agree it's going to be this kid.
Atene's 7'1" wonder kid Kai Soto. Teen basketball sensation Kai Soto.
Kai Soto.
The best bet has to be Kai Soto.
16-year-old Kai Soto. He's already 7'2" and
Wow.
has been dubbed the future
Dang.
of Asian basketball. And it was reported that Real Madrid offered him $1 million to join their basketball team.
Did it say how old he
Supposedly,
was?
FC Barcelona, Saski Baskonia, and Alba
16 or
Berlin
17?
have also expressed interest. By all accounts, he's a basketball prodigy. He's currently averaging 25.1 points per game, 13.9 rebounds per game, and 2.6 blocks per game. In a 2-game stretch against Japan and China, he scored 54 points, 42 rebounds, and 9 block shots. He's got so much potential that he's projected to be on the final roster of the National
so
Basketball
unfair.
Philippines
Yeah.
team for the World Cup, where he would be playing against NBA and other professional players around the world. As a 16-year-old boy. Let that sink
16.
in. Barring some crazy injury, this kid's chances of making the NBA are all but guaranteed. So mark your calendars, boys and girls, because in 2021,
I'd be wrapping my knees
whenever
at that
his
age.
contract with his
It looks
European
like he's
team
got some
expires,
compression
the
shorts
Philippines is getting an NBA player. He is
So he said 2021, so we need to check on this guy.
2021, so that's this year.
the future
it
of
is.
Asian basketball.
These are exciting
So
times
that's when he's
for
supposed to be
Filipino
old enough to
basketball
play in the
fans.
NBA?
I, for one, can't wait to see what the future holds for the country whose heart beats like the bouncing of a basketball. Remember to check out Pacific Rims, Beer Man Ballin' in Flip-Flops, the Philippines' unlikely love affair with basketball. On Amazon, Rafe goes on a lot
got
more
your
in depth
haircut.
into the analysis of Filipino basketball and the love
All right, I think he's just plugging now, that book.
So how old is this video? This was 2019, 2020.
Oh, so maybe it's time for him to sign a contract.
Well, what he needs to do is go to college in the U.S. Or go to, I would think that now that you can make money in college, I would think that would be his best bet, because he's going to have an entire country or really a region of the world backing him.
Right.
So he's going to bring in dollar bills, y'all, for any type of marketing for Asia. So what I would do if I were him, I'd go 2 years college. Or really, honestly, I'd go 4 years, get my full degree here in the U.S., go to the NBA, because just because you're tall, and he's got shots from the of course he showed the highlights, but he's got shots.
Yeah.
So he's going to have something that's very unique, very Dirk Nowitzki-like, tall with a good shot, and he'll be able to extend. Because the thing is, and if you're going to get developed anywhere, college basketball is the way to do it.
Right.
LeBron James and what's his name? LeBron and Kobe are a very rare breed. That they didn't have to go to college. That was, of course, before they changed the rules. But without college, those guys were going to be superstars anyways.
Right.
Go to college, get those 2 years in, get 4 years in, go to the pros. If you do well, thank God. If you do a little less, then at least you got a college degree.
Right.
And you're going to get a full ride scholarship at 7'2". I don't care.
Yeah.
You can go to. In fact, I just talked to somebody that went to that played at Villanova today, and then we got a guy at the gym that practices where I work is the highest scoring NCAA player.
Wow.
Yeah, right now, and he decided to stick in for another year instead of joining the draft. And I talk to him every single day. I think this is the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
Guys, if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. It helps us out with the YouTube algorithm. And honestly, if you have more basketball videos like this one, we would love to see it because I'm a huge basketball fan, minus Dwayne Wade. Also, if you want to see our future videos, hit the subscribe button, the bell notification. You'll be notified when the next video drops. And of course, if you want to support us directly, hit the join button. And with that being said,
My name is Miles.
my name is Fez.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Peace.
Out.
I had like a frog in my throat or something. That sounded weird.